The next experiment in part B is design of an RC phase shift oscillator. Aim is to design a circuit which generates a repetitive waveform, that is sinusoidal signal of frequency 10 kilohertz. As per the theory, the relation for the frequency of oscillation is 1 by 2 pi RC into under root 6. This is the circuit diagram of an RC phase shift amplifier. RC phase shift oscillator. And this is the amplifier circuit. And the RC combinations, the 3 RC combinations, what we have here is the feedback circuit. Each RC provides a phase shift of 60 degrees. So at point A, the phase shift will be 60. At point B, the phase shift will be 120. And at point C, the phase shift will be 180 degrees. So we are going to observe the output at 2 different points. It is point D and point C. So this is the complete circuit of an RC phase shift oscillator. The design for the amplifier is same as that of the Colpitts oscillator or the crystal oscillator, what we have done in part A. The difference lies only in the design of the tank circuit. So as we have seen already, the frequency of oscillation is given by the relation 1 by 2 pi RC into root 6. Given the frequency of oscillation is equal to 10 kilohertz, let's assume C is equal to 0.002 microfarad. If we substitute the value of F and C in the equation, we get R to be approximately equal to 2.2 kilo ohm. So let's see how this circuit can be constructed in the multisim and how to observe the readings. This is the complete circuit of the RC phase shift oscillator. R1, R2, RC, RE provides the voltage divider bias, and CE is our bypass capacitor. We are observing the output at the output of CC2. So CC2 output is connected to channel A of the oscilloscope. C1, R3, C2, R4, C3, R5 forms the feedback network. So in order to measure the phase shift, the other channel is connected to the channel B of the oscilloscope. Also, to find out the frequency directly, I've connected a frequency counter. Now let's run this and see. I'll just pass the simulation. So what is connected to channel A is nothing but the output of my coupling capacitor CC2. What is observed in channel B is nothing but at the junction of C1 and R3. As per the circuit diagram, it is point A. So at point A, the phase shift introduced should be equal to 60 degrees. Now let's see what's the frequency of oscillation. So I'll just click on the frequency counter. It gives me the frequency of oscillation directly. It gives me 9.4 kilohertz. As per the design, it is 10 kilohertz. What we have obtained by adjusting the pot is 9.4 kilohertz. Now let's go for the measurement of the phase shift. So in order to measure the phase shift, you can use A by B mode. So we get this phase shift figure. So both channel A and channel B scale are in the same volt per division. It's approximately 1.6 and 1.9. So just find out sine inverse of 1.6 divided by 1.9. It gives me approximately 57.4 degrees. What is expected is 60. What we have obtained is 57.4 degrees. So this is at the output of the first RC network. Now let's shift the point to the second RC network. So I'm going to stop the simulation and do the wiring. So connect it at the output of C2 and R4. So 60 plus another 60, it should give me a phase shift of 120 degree. So let me run the simulation. Let's observe in the Y by T mode first. You can observe the waveform here. Okay, so there's a phase shift between my input and then my output. Now let me go for the A by B measurement. It's approximately 1.7 divided by 1.9. Sine inverse of 1.7 divided by 1.9, which gives me 63.47. As it lies in the second quadrant, it's 180 minus the angle obtained. So we get it to be equal to 116.5 degree. The expected value is 120. What we have obtained is 116.5 degree. Next, let's stop the simulation and shift the test point to C3 and R5. So now I should obtain a phase shift of 60 plus another 60, which should be 180 degree. So approximately you can observe that there is a 180 degree phase shift between both the signals. And the phase shift, it's a straight line, almost a straight line, which shows it's a vertical line, which shows that there is a phase shift of 180 degree between both the signals. So throughout this, we have not gone for changing the pot. So once if it is fixed for a particular frequency, it should remain where it is. So the observations to be made for this particular experiments are the amplitude of the signal, which is observed at the output of CC2, the frequency from the frequency counter, and then the phase shift measurements. So roughly let's estimate what's the amplitude. So I've taken cursor 2, which moves on the sinusoidal wave, which is the output of capacitor CC2. So it is 3.69 on the positive side and minus 3.79 on the negative side. So just add both the values. That will be the peak to peak value of the signal. So that's roughly 7.5 volt. 7.5 volt is the output amplitude and the frequency is 9.368 kilohertz. The measurement of the phase angle is given in the material here. So how the method 2 will be appropriate. So it's clearly given here in the material. So the waveform as a result should be the circuit for a sinusoidal waveform generator was designed and tested, and the design frequency is 10 kilohertz. The practical frequency is roughly 9.38 kilohertz. So with this, we come to an end of the RC phase shift oscillator.